Hey everybody, it's Lebo with Lebo's Pinball, episode 13. Can you believe it? We've done 13 videos on this North Star pinball restoration, and we are coming to a close. Got one more little thing I'm gonna try to take everybody through, just a little adjustment, and then we're gonna wrap it up, kind of give a quick overview of everything throughout the entire series. So one thing I'm gonna focus on right now is, if you look over here at this left kick out, it's striking the ball a little harder than the one that's over here on the right. The one on the right's working fine. It knocks the ball out. It shoots it out and it does fine. But this side, it does the same thing, but it's just a little harder. I think it's the way now that it's actually hitting the ball, where it's hitting on it, because it's hitting it hard enough and kind of direct centered where the ball comes up sometimes just high enough to where it actually strikes the glass. And that's really not good for the player. They're not going to like it, and the owner of this game, which isn't me, the owner of this, that was something that he had noticed before that wanted to get addressed, and so we tried putting in the weaker coils, which did help a little bit, but it still needs to go a little bit further. So we're going to do a little more tweaking. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on this. To first off, I'm going to kind of demonstrate. Here's a video of it actually going in, and watch it pop out. I'm going to try to do a little slow motion of this and see how it looks. All right, now if you compare the other side, see if we can do a slow motion video of it. And now just kind of comparing between the two, you can see the one that's over here on the left is striking a little bit harder. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to try to kind of adjust that. All right, so when the ball lands in this spot, it just parks itself there. It's going to trip this switch, and once it trips that switch, it's then going to take this little metal actuator, and it's going to pull it. It's going to fire it up this way. So you can kind of see right about what's the position that it's striking the ball. So one thing I'm going to try to do, these things they're meant to be adjustable. Just bend them a little bit, and you can kind of do that to sort of steer the direction that you want to hit the ball, maybe even how hard it is. So if you can kind of hit the ball to the side a little bit, it might put a little English on it, but it'll also take away some of the power. And it looks like it's already been kind of bent around some, but I'm thinking I'm going to give it a little tweak. See if we can bend it a little some here. Bend it enough to where it doesn't interfere going down. But there we go. That one's pretty far over. It could have been maybe too much, or it may be even worse, because the way that it's coming up, it may be a little more centered. Only thing to do is give it a test now. So I'm going to set the camera up to try to do the slow motion video and see how the arc is, if it comes up just as high as the time before, or if it's a little bit lower. And the real test is once I throw the glass on, is it smacking the glass? So that's the objective. All right, so we got the ball dropped in the spot. Let's see where it goes. All right, it went right over to the pop bumper, and it kind of popped over the top of it a little too hard and not quite the right direction. All right, so now we're going to try bending it over to the right, which was a little counterintuitive there at first, but let's just give this a shot and see what goes. All right, so here's the ball, and you can tell that it kind of, it ended up going over towards the pop bumper, but it's definitely a lot weaker, it's not going to be hitting the glass. As soon as we put the glass on, we'll know for sure, but this is definitely a step in the right direction, but it'd be nice to try to soften it a little more. All right, so what else is there to adjust this? So here's the mechanism underneath the play field. Here's that new coil. That's the slightly weaker coil. Here's a spring that is fighting the movement of it, pushing it back. And the other thing is just the whole mounting of it all. So I've actually kind of bent this in a little bit, tried to pull it in to basically limit the displacement of the whole actuator, and it also does a little bit of a preloading on the spring. So we're going to try this now. It may just be a little marginal improvement, but it all comes together. So let's see what happens. All right, let's watch the ball, see where it goes. Hey, I do like that. That's not too bad. And let's check the direction. Yes, definitely way better. All right, let's throw the glass on and give it the real test. See if it actually hits the glass and just the trajectory of the ball. Make sure that's all good. Real test. All right, see if we can get it over in there. Come on. Oh, way better. Nowhere near hitting the glass. Folks, I think we may... All right, settle down, game. That was the final thing that we were trying to wrap up with this game. And I think it's now time to declare this game done. I'm going to give a quick overview. What all did we do here? Let's just take a look at it all. Hang with me. All right, so we had this ball trace that we had to go deal with. It was in there pretty good, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to completely get rid of it. But we sanded things down and filled in a lot of it, and it really turned out looking quite a bit better. Now moving to the playfield, of course, we had to strip pretty much everything down except for the top part of the pop bumpers. But from there, we started cleaning the playfield. Lots of areas, just trying to get the dirt out. And you can see here, just kind of going back through it even more, rubbing a lot of the polish in just to try to get it really shiny, and then we followed with some wax. All right, so here moving underneath, we had the pop bumpers. We rebuilt, the flippers. We rebuilt the flipper mechanisms and even kind of cleaned out some of the metal. The lock bar, here's just some more of the metal pieces that we polished out. It made a really big difference along the side rails, the back of it, a lot of metal pieces, even including underneath the game. Going back into the playfield here, you've got the pop bumpers, where we did end up rebuilding them, and new coils, the brackets were even polished out, the side kickouts here. We worked a lot with that, as you knew, here at the tail end of the whole project. But then we followed in with putting in a ground circuit throughout the whole game. Lots of places where we had to go end up running that grounding braid. But then actually on the board itself, we actually had to go get it wired in. But here's with the whole playfield all put back together, and from there we did have to move over to a tilt relay that had some problems, replace that, get the switches all worked out, and finally it was a little bit of a hassle, got it all together, and then of course we moved to this dreaded wiring burnt up mess, which took a bit of work, but focusing on that, we got the one set redone. Then over there on the scoring motor, redid all the wires on that side. It was quite a bit of work. It was really worth it. It cleaned up quite a bit, so real happy with it. All right, now we're going to give it a final test. And there you have it, folks. This game is over. Thanks for watching the whole series. North Star, it's been quite a project. Thanks for watching.